Now, let me shift ground a little bit and talk about something that American women find so troubling, which is the way that the Taliban treats Afghani women. What is the situation? We've been told that Afghanistani women are not allowed to go to school, not allowed to work, even if they are trained as doctors, lawyers, not allowed even, it seems, to go outside of their own homes unless they're escorted by a male relative. What is the truth?
This is all wrong. We have never said that women cannot go out. Actually, as much as we have done for women, nobody else has done in the history of Afghanistan. Women were sold before our government. We have given the right of self-determination to women. Women can have business and had never this right. In some pockets of the country, including the capital Kabul, they might have had some symbolic rights, but in the rural areas, their rights were violated from the beginning. And what we have done is to give them their most fundamental rights. And we have never said that a woman can't be educated, and we have never said that a woman should not work. We have said that women can work and be educated. And still, schools are open for women, but when we say that we are against co-education, it doesn't mean that we are against education for women. When we say that women should work segregatedly, it doesn't mean that we are against their work. And we are doing it now. Women are working in the Ministry of Health, women are working in the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Social Affairs. It's right, they don't work in the Ministry of Defense, or they are not fighter pilots. And we also don't like them to be used as objects of decorations for advertisements as it's here. So we do have our own traditions and cultures, and it existed for centuries in Afghanistan. You cannot set benchmark for us to achieve.
Well, now, do you think, Lauren, that that's the way American women see it, or is that the way your reporters for NPR are telling you conditions exist in Afghanistan for women?
Well, they've changed, obviously. When the Taliban came in, you did close all the schools for women. You did send women home from their jobs. Women were not allowed to walk the streets unless they were escorted by a male family member. They were isolated. Are you telling us that now after that period of isolation of women, forcing them all to wear the burqa, never to be able to be seen, that you're changing, that you have reopened the schools, you are letting them go out?
Have you ever heard from us saying that we will not allow women to work or education? You will never find any statement by us saying that. Right. When we captured the capital Kabul in 1996, we asked women to stay at home and not to go to work. And if they go out, they have to be accompanied by a male. That time, the whole city was full of arms, irresponsible gangs, and our priority was to disarm people. And we disarmed people. After that, women are shopping, women are working, women are going to education. We don't have much resources to expand these programs, and we have asked the world and the feminist majority itself that if they really care about the women in Afghanistan, they shouldn't scream from thousands of miles away. If they really want to help them, they have to come there and help them with some kind of assistance. That will make a difference for them. If they open one school for women, that will make a difference. But screaming from here will make no difference.
Now, I noted that recently a group of journalists, 6 journalists, were expelled from Afghanistan for trying to photograph the Kabul Museum. And of course, that is the site of several Buddhist statues, artifacts that the Taliban says that it may destroy or that have already been destroyed. What is the case? What are you doing with these artifacts in the museum?
First, we have not expelled 6 journalists. Only one journalist from BBC was politely asked to go out of the country, and I will give you the reason for that. We have never said that we will destroy all the statues in Afghanistan. And those statues which are still worshipped are preserved for the Hindu community there, and they are still worshipping that. I said this problem of these 2 statues were completely different from the rest. And the woman from BBC who was there, she was very irresponsible in reporting. Actually, she had said that there are 2 groups within the Taliban, and in the near future they may fight among themselves and do certain things which she shouldn't say, because she is not there to concoct stories for us. She is there to report stories.
And so, wait, that's the journalist who was expelled?
Yeah.
And so when you said kindly asked to leave, what do you mean?
She was asked to leave the country because she was not responsible for her reporting. She said that there are two groups and they may fight. This man may fight with this man and the Taliban may split. All these things are something that she was instigating people to do.
Well, do you understand the concept of censorship?
I don't. Within your constitution, didn't the media distort the results of the elections this year? And within your Supreme Court now, it's going on that nobody can talk before the results of something. Here we heard that there were so many stories. CNN said the Republicans won. Another TV said those won, and distorted everything. And I know now that there is a law being processed that nobody can say something in advance. And we too have this problem. We do not want people to instigate things in our country. If there is anything to happen, then anybody has the right to say that.
Lauren, why don't you...
Excuse me, I don't understand what law you're talking about. I certainly don't know of any law that means you can't report anything. We have a First Amendment in this country which allows us to report on anything and everything.
And
that is the approach of our journalism.
Go right ahead.
Report on anything that has happened, but you shouldn't instigate or predict things.
Well,
and that's in public...
I'm sorry. You've misread our laws. We can predict things. We can analyze. We can discuss disputes among political parties, among factions. We do that all the time. That's part of what we do.
And
some of it is looking forward and what are the issues that we'll be facing in the future. There's no law against that.
And here's the biggest thing. We have the right to make mistakes.
Well, you do have the right to make mistakes. But what I try to say is that I read this article in New York Times that something is going on that when the elections is going on, nobody has the right to say this man won or that man until the results are cleared. So I knew this. I don't know whether it's right or wrong, but I read it in the New York Times while I was here. In our country, we have problems when we don't want further problems. So anybody who is responsible, we allow everybody to report the facts, whatever the facts, whether or not we like it. But we don't allow people to instigate insurgencies in our country.
All right, let me take a call. Let me go to Ramsey, who's in Rochester, New York. Ramsey, welcome to Talk of the Nation.
Hello, hi. Yeah, I just want to say a couple of things. I come from Lebanon, where we have 60% Muslims, and I'm not a Muslim, but I've done a lot of readings, and you know, if Mr. Hashemi knows that during the you know, the Islamic during the Prophet's days, women had a lot of rights, and there was a lot of women that made a lot, you know, they were in the political arena, and unfortunately, what's happening in Afghanistan is, you know, just going back to the pre-Islamic era, where women are just as being used as commodities.
Well, hang on, Ramsey, because what we've heard from Mr. Hashemi is that's not right. Is that right?
Yeah, that's not right. That is the media exaggeration, I would say.
Well, you know, I really don't think that not allowing women to go to school and to participate in the social and political life is what the Islamic religion preaches for. And also, on the other hand, Mr. Lorne is talking about the women's rights and this and that. And I would like him to just remember that the United States is a big supporter of Saudi Arabia, and women in Saudi Arabia are being treated exactly the same as in Afghanistan. So what does he think about that?
Thanks for your call, Ramsey. Lauren?
Well, I think there are a lot of places in the world where women aren't treated well, and so certainly Saudi Arabia is one of them. And that doesn't, from our culture and our value system, we find that unacceptable too. Saudi Arabia isn't harboring terrorists that are attacking the United States, however, and I think that's, again, we come back to what our differences are with Afghanistan, or that more than the women's issue.